What's going on, Orlando Magic fans? Welcome to the Six Man Show Postgame Live presented by Rocco. Your Orlando Magic fall 104-89 at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And yet, it's still, you can't be mad tonight. At least I can't, because the sun will come out tomorrow, as the old song says. Hopefully, all signs are pointing to tonight being the end of the Paolo injury era, scheduled to return tomorrow. And if tonight is any indication, we need him back now more than ever. Welcome to the Six Man Show Postgame Live. My name's Kevin. Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. This is our live postgame show after every Orlando Magic game. Yes, whether it's a thrilling win at MSG or a blowout at home against the Minnesota Timberwolves, we're going to be right here on YouTube after every single Orlando Magic game. Big shout out to Rock'em. They're the sponsors of the show. They're an amazing company. They're in Central Florida, in Orlando. They make socks and underwear for not just the Orlando Magic, but all kinds of your favorite sports teams, including college teams. I've got the college football playoff semifinal going on down here. So maybe you're a Notre Dame fan or a Penn State fan. Well, if you are, then you should not be watching this show. You should be watching your game. But if you are, they got all kinds of cool socks and underwear for those teams at rock'em.com, or maybe you're an Ohio State or Texas fan. Check them out at rock'em.com. Maybe you're an NFL fan, right? NFL playoffs kicking off this weekend. That'll be fun. Just use this code MAGIC20 at rock'em.com. That'll get you 20% off your order all season long. Again, big shout out to Rock'em for sponsoring the show. They're the best. Okay, so the Orlando Magic played a basketball game tonight, and it was pretty bad. Pretty bad night. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because, honestly, I know myself by about halfway through the third quarter, I had already moved on to tomorrow, right? I would not be surprised if the players did the same, and I would not blame them for doing that. They have done so well with the absences of Paolo and Franz and now Jalen and Mo. And so I don't blame them at all for that. But for me, I was just like, okay, this one's cooked. Let's go to tomorrow. But yeah, credit to Minnesota. That's a really good basketball team. We'll talk maybe about some officiating later. Not that I think officiating was the reason you lost this game, but the lack of consistency night to night is just, it's got to be so frustrating for the players. It's frustrating for me, right? Some nights they let players defend super physically, and then a night like tonight, you're just not allowed to do that at all. It makes it really, really tough. So anyway, okay. Like I said, this one will be short and sweet, especially because we got another one tomorrow. I will say before I go to the chat, tomorrow's post-game live, okay, after the Bucks game, is going to start a little bit late, okay, because both Jonathan and myself are going to be at the game. Very excited for that. And then we're going to have to obviously leave the game and get back to where we're doing the show. So obviously, we like to start this show right away, as soon as possible, as soon as the final buzzer sounds. Tomorrow, it's not going to be that way, but we wanted to be able to react to the return of Paolo. And so Jonathan and I are going to do that tomorrow night. Just obviously give us some grace. Good, probably 30 to 45 minutes, maybe even an hour after the game finishes. Hopefully not that long, but just be on the lookout for that tomorrow. Okay. Not a whole lot from the chat tonight. Not surprised. Let's see what we got here. I'm Jovi says Isaac's offense is terrible right now, and his misses are horrible. Yeah, Jonathan Isaac offensively, he had a great game Monday. Not necessarily offensively, although he did have some putbacks and things. But outside of that, man, just not been impressed with J.I.'s offense this season. And Metro Boomin' Cam says last game without Paolo, thank God. Yeah, literally. I don't know how much longer I could do this. I will say, though, I hope we all have some pretty tempered expectations. We talked about it on today's episode of the Six Man Show. We don't know what to expect with Paolo. Physically, how is he going to be? Is he going to be on a minutes restriction? Is he going to have the same explosiveness? Those things aside, I think we also need to remember that just because Paolo's back does not fix all the issues with this team right now, right? Franz is still out. Jalen is still out. Mo is still out. Gary is still, whatever. Those guys are still out, and therefore the production that they offer is still out. And so other guys are still going to have to step up. Just because Paolo is back does not mean all of our problems go away. All right. So I'm telling myself that going into tomorrow and going into this return of Paolo era. However, on a night like tonight, when you score 39 points in the first half, having a guy who is averaging 29 points this season before he got injured, returning tomorrow, sounds really nice. Sounds really nice. And I'm looking forward to that. Tavia says, I think we're just ready for Paolo to be back tomorrow is the vibe I got from this game. Yeah. Jonathan and I mentioned this earlier today, texting, like, this screams look ahead game tonight, right? Like, that phrase is usually used, if you've got an easy opponent, but right before a really, really big game, they call it a look ahead game, right? Like, the players are already looking ahead to the big game. There could have been some of that tonight, right? Like, these guys just being like, you know what? We've worked our tails off. We've kept this team afloat. We're exhausted. We're ready for Paolo to come back tomorrow, right? And if that's the case, again, I don't blame them. I just hope that they can snap back into it tomorrow against Milwaukee. Ace the Baller says, someone explain how and why we shoot that many threes when our best three-point shooter is hurt. I think in the second half, you're down 18 to 22 most of the second half. They're just trying to spark a comeback. But you're right. Even on the whole season, we still take a ton of threes. Chris D says, well, that sucked. The whole team's just ready for Powell to get back along with the rest of us, huh? Yeah, that's what it feels like. Oh, A Dizzle. Everybody gets dunked on at some point. AB, yeah. That was gnarly. Highlight of the night, even as an Orlando Magic fan. Love AB, obviously, but that was a wild dunk. Anthony Black is crazy. Could potentially be a nice audition tape for a trade someday to Orlando. Just kidding. But yeah, that was crazy. We're going to be seeing that dunk for the next several days on every highlight reel, every top 10. Chris says, AB, excuse me. AB did not make a business decision on that Ant dunk. Yeah. No decision made there. If Anthony Edwards has a head of steam and gets within 20 feet of the lane, honestly, you just got to commit or you got to get out of the way. There's no in between. AB tried to go in between and it did not work out for him. Chris D says, this chat needs a Talladega Nights quote. We tried really hard. And number 2, we're all still really good friends. Yeah. Oh, man. Duval said, never found a rhythm on offense. Yeah, offense was terrible. Heck yeah says, why is there a post-game live? The Magic didn't play. Here we are. Diego says, I'm confused. Did Joe Ingles really start chirping towards our bench? If so, biggest downfall of all time. Look, Joe, it's all in good fun. Joe Ingles, that's what he does. He still loves everybody on this team. It was all in good fun. But yes, Joe Ingles does like to run his mouth. All in good fun, though. Christian says, in the third quarter, all momentum, if any, just deflated across the board. Yeah. Magic, what was it? It was at the end of the first quarter, end of the second quarter. Well, towards the end of those quarters, made a run. Like, even at the end of the second quarter, Magic tied the game up. 37-37, if I'm remembering. Yeah, 37 all. And let the Timberwolves go on a 15-2 run to close the half. Ended up leading 52-39, right? And then, yeah, third quarter, that was just all gone. All gone. Chris also says, Gary is always out. Need to start calling him Glass because that's what he's made of. Rip, yeah. Studor, yes, I noticed this too. Said, anyone else notice Goga's poor body language? I know Mosley must be frustrated. Yeah, that was a little interesting. I don't know if that's just being frustrated with, who he's playing, Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle, 2 very physical guys, very difficult to deal with. Guys that aren't going to back down, from the mental aspect of competition, right? They're going to make life difficult for you. I noticed it as well. I hated the technical fouls in the second half. Like, Jonathan and I just talked about this week on the podcast, right? Like, the technical fouls are just getting out of control. It's just crazy stuff. Yeah, rough. David T says, good thing is when Paolo gets back, our shooters will get better looks, hopefully our three-point percentage can improve. Yeah, I hope so. Powell's going to get some attention, obviously. Hope that's true. I missed a super chat. This is from Soul Train. It says, I expect everyone to look inspired tomorrow. I hope. Yeah, I feel that. Like, I think the building is going to have some pretty serious energy. Anytime a star player comes back from something like that, it's going to be really special. I think the players will feed off of that. And you're right. I think it should feel pretty good. Nesto says, let's get Cam Johnson. Yeah, I mean, that would be a huge addition. Huge addition. All right, let's, like I said, short and sweet tonight. Let's go check out this box score. Not a whole lot. Yeah, it's pretty ugly. Caleb Houston, maybe his best game of the season. Probably his best game of the season. 14 points for him, a rebound and assist. 4 of 6 from 3. Love that. Tristan da Silva, 6 points. Again, another 0 for night from 3. 0 of 5. With 9 boards and 2 assists. Goga had 15 and 8. KCP shot the ball well tonight. 3 of 4 from 3. Ended up with 13 points. A rebound, 2 assists. Cole had 12 points. 5 assists. Did have 4 turnovers. J.I., we talked about him. Did have 7 rebounds and 2 blocks, but offensively it's just non-existent. Trevelin Queen, not a great night from him. Just 3 points on 1 of 9 shooting. Anthony Black, I thought, was particularly poor tonight. 3 points, 1 of 5 from the field for him. Jet Howard getting a lot of minutes late in this game, especially once the game was kind of out of reach. 10 points, 8 boards, 4 assists. 4 of 11 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3. Not great. Wendell, meh. 8.6 boards, 3 of 10 from the field, and Corey Joseph came in garbage time. So, yeah, Magic shot 25% from 3. Yikes. 10 of 40, 38% from the field. Yikes. And yeah, 13 of 19 from the free throw line. Also yikes. So, yeah, just all in all, pretty terrible offensive night. Also had 14 turnovers to Minnesota's 8. That's never going to be good enough. Anthony Edwards, surprisingly, ends up 5 of 19 from the field. Started red hot. Started 3 of 3 from 3. So that means he went 1 for 8 the rest of the way. So credit the Magic there, I guess. But Julius Randle, Naz Reid, when he came in the game, both were excellent. And yeah, Magic just really, really never had a chance in this one. Looking at some team stats, 42 points in the paint for the Magic. Minnesota got 14 fast break points and led by as many as 24. Again, 14-8 in favor of, the Magic had more turnovers, 14-8. I wouldn't say in favor of the Magic, because that's not great. Minnesota scored 16 points off of those 14 turnovers. And yeah, Magic won the fourth quarter. That's the only quarter the Magic won tonight. So, whip-de-doo. Let's check out some scores from around the league. Blazers are up 3 on the Mavericks right now with less than 3 minutes to go. That's interesting. Rockets, Grizzlies. Oh, wow. What an interesting game there, too. 1-point game. First half out in Phoenix and Utah. Got Hawks and Suns and Heat, Jazz. The only final games tonight so far, Cavs beat the Raptors, Warriors beat the Pistons, and then, yes, the Hornets-Lakers game was postponed because of the horrific fire there in Southern California. Just a true disaster out there. Really, really bad stuff. So obviously sending thoughts out there to those people. I just can't even imagine. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. Looking at the standings really fast. Let's see. All right. Magic fall to 22-17 on the season. They are now 3.5 games back of the New York Knicks and just 1 game up on the Milwaukee Bucks. How about that, folks? How about that? Tomorrow's game, you win that game, you go up 2 games on the Bucks. You lose that game, you are now tied with the Bucks in the standings. So big game tomorrow. Really, really big game tomorrow. You're also a game and a half up on the Pacers and 2 games up on the Miami Heat, 2 games up on the Hawks. Both of those teams currently playing as we speak. So those numbers will change as those games up tonight, obviously. So, all right, chat, last couple thoughts here. And like I said, short and sweet tonight because we're back at it tomorrow. Chris says, Caleb did well tonight. If only he was more consistent. Yeah, 100%. That's all we want, right? Caleb Houston, Jet Howard, Anthony Black. I'm just looking for consistency. Whoever's going to be the most consistent is going to get the most minutes. That's why Tristan da Silva's been playing so much, right? Like, yeah, he's shot the ball pretty poorly, several of the last few games, but outside of that, you know what you can expect from him. He's going to be consistent. as far as his defense, consistent as far as his ability to make plays when he's given the opportunity. But yeah, Caleb Houston, Jet Howard, Anthony Black all have been wildly inconsistent this season. Ace says, hide the kids. That's an R-rated box score. Facts. Chris says, AB hurt his back again early on. He was grabbing it the whole time. Won't be shocked if he's on the injury report tomorrow. Interesting. We'll have to keep a look on that. Keep an eye on that. That would not surprise me. We've talked about it a million times on the show. Back injuries are tough, which is why we're all a little concerned about the whole Jalen thing. Yeah. Zen says, I wonder if TDS still cracks the rotation when P5 is back. I don't see how he can't. I think he's been that good. I think he's earned it. Chris says, Kevin is about as inspired tonight as the team was. Hey, I'm not going to lie. Team plays like that. I'm going to play like this. You feel me? Oh, man. Yeah, I'll just call it there. I want to watch this college football playoff game. Exciting stuff. Just a reminder really fast before we go. Again, tomorrow's show, a delayed start, okay? Because like I said, Jonathan and I are going to be attending the game. It's going to be a while for us to get out of Kia and get back over to where we're recording the show. So a little bit of patience, but hey, we're excited. Paolo is back tomorrow, folks. Cannot wait. So excited for that. It's like a whole new chapter is unfolding for this season. And yeah, super excited about it. So yeah, tune in after the game tomorrow. Jonathan and myself will react to all of it. But until then, have a great Friday and let's go Magic.